And hello, oh shit, it's Michael Frank. Hello, visuals. Welcome back to the Visual Club Podcast with me and Chris.
Hiya.
Where Chris is coming in with old man ailment because he's got a bad back. I can justify with that though, mate. You're at the point where you're laying in bed and you're like, no position's comfortable. You're just like, just put me out of misery.
Yeah.
I'm so old, my back's gone. I'm ready to die. Well, you say so old. What, you 30 odd? I'm 30.
I'm 35 next month.
Hey, it's not fucking good, mate. Far too old. Just put us out of our misery. Life's done now.
Exactly.
Life's done now, just fucking thingy. Right, we'll do our weird fun podcast. I told you to do your homework on first, because I really want to hear what you've got to say. Basically, visuals. I said to Chris last week when we were doing the Last of Us, whichever one we were doing, asking about his favourite shows and all that kind of shit, and I actually really wanted to know, so I messaged Chris saying, do your homework, I'm going to ask you a few, like...
This is something we normally do at Christmas.
No, I know, but this isn't of the year, this is of all time. And I couldn't wait a fucking whatever to do it. Like I said, it's there'll still be a Crimbo one of the year. Yeah. But this is of all time, and I've done it as well. And like I said, there's probably shit on there that you've done differently to me or what. And you know, it doesn't matter. I just want to hear your favourite shenanigans and whatnot. I don't know if you wanna. Do you want to hear the little things I've got?
Yeah, go on then.
And then you can tell us what you've got.
We'll do a category at a time. So.
Yeah, because I've got a couple of categories on it. And like I said, there might be some because I just asked you about everything, so your everything might have not been the same way. But I've got for you top 5 films, which I think was obvious.
Yeah, top 5 films.
Top 5 shows.
Right.
I've got my favourite character, as in fictional character, not actor or whatever, just your fictional character. I've got your favourite scenes from shit.
I haven't got that far.
Don't worry. I didn't think you would have. It's okay. This was disgusting to make anyway, pal. Even right now as I'm talking about this, I'm like, I could have put that. But anyway, I've put your favourite ever, like, you know, altogether trilogy, an MCU one or whatever, or your favourite, you know, thingy. Your favourite actors.
I don't think I've got that far either.
Doesn't matter, don't worry, pal, you might think of someone's whatever. Your best games, because I knew we spoke a little bit of games, and then your biggest letdown of all time. As in all time, you watch something and you're like, that was a letdown, that was a
I've not got half them categories in my
Doesn't matter, I didn't think you would, I just thought it would be fun, I've jotted one down.
Let's see what I can pick up my head as we go along.
Like I said, this was a nightmare, because I must have spent about 4 hours doing this, rethinking, and some of this has got recency biased towards it because it's stuff that I've done recently. And I'm like, so I mean, this could be subject to change and whatnot. But should we go for the ones that you do have, your own categories that you do have, and you go for your top 5 favourite films of all time? We'll do 5 down to 1. Okay. Do you want to do yours and then I do mine, or do you want to do one each? Or
you do yours.
Right. So I can do my 5th favourite, you could do your 5th favourite, and then don't fucking look at my list. Don't look at my list, you little prick. I love these, but like I said, we will be doing it one towards Christmas as well, where it's just the year, but this is of all time.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Right, so my number 5, this is an obvious one. It is Jaws. I fucking adore Jaws.
Jaws is mint. Everyone loves Jaws.
But the best thing is as well that when it came out, it broke all the records because they cast it as a horror film when it came out.
Yeah.
Which is mental. I can see why maybe they did. Obviously now I definitely don't look at it as a horror film. I just fucking love even though it's stupid, because now when you watch shark films like The Meg for whatever, it's CGI and you can tell that it's a big rubber dummy thing.
Yeah.
But it's still like all the little moments about, you know, when they first hit on the boat, the first hit on the beach, the kids swimming out in the sea and whatnot. The newer Jaws is like 2 or 3, nowhere near as good. No. But this had so many iconic moments. Steven Spielberg, great theme tune, all the acting it done so fucking. The beach scene where they're all looking on the beach and it's got that mad pan shot. Oh, I fucking love Jaws. It kind of helped me in my little fear, but also love of seeing sharks and whatnot. But yeah, Jaws is my number 5. It's my number 5.
Well, I'm going to also go for a classic, to be fair.
Chris has got a Class-a-Rooney on there.
To be fair, I've not watched it in a while, and I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, I should really watch this, but it's been a while.
This did this for me when I was talking about a few things. I'm like, oh, you got to carry on.
Convoy.
Okay. I mean,
now, for those who don't know and too young to know what Convoy is, it's with Chris Christopherson, who drives a big black Mack truck, and he has to go from one end of the country to the other pisses the police officer off. Can't remember what his name, but then he ends up getting a gathering of trucks crossing the states, and everyone's applauding him along. And it's just like, yeah,
it's actually been a while for that. In fact, there's parts that I can vaguely remember.
I loved it back in the day.
Is there a specific reason? Is it just?
It's trucks.
It was just the truck you thought, this is a badass truck.
Yeah.
I'm with you, I like that.
But I've also got another classic in the mix as well.
I can't wait to see that. What year was that convoy?
Fuck, it was before I was born. It's going to be 70s, late 70s. At least.
Yeah, you're probably right there, mate.
Late 70s, early 80s.
That's a good shot.
Yeah, I'd say late 70s.
And one now I think about it, it makes sense for you, because, you know, you like the trucking and all that kind of shit. But I didn't think you would put that on your list, but that's a cool shot.
It's an old classic. It's always one I'd like. Yeah, me and my father used to watch it a lot when we were younger.
It's I like that for you. I like that. And plus, obviously, you and your dad, you got a nice old tie to it as well. Then I can imagine little Chris sat there watching. Oh, look at the trucks. I can picture that. For whatever reason, I'm picturing you with your little bald head now.
I was
about to say you wouldn't have. But I could just see you, but just shrunk down. Just look at the trucks. Whatever. Right, my number 4 is I had to put this in this. It's Avengers Endgame. Okay. I had to put this in the list. When I was thinking about it, then I was thinking, hang on a sec. I remember, fuck me, I think that's the film that I've seen the most in multiple replays at the cinema.
Yeah.
And I just remember how many beautiful, epic moments were in that. And then I started going over all the odd videos, you know, the people reacting to the cinemas and shit.
Yeah.
From Cat lifting Mjolnir and Sam Wilson On Your Left and all that kind of shit. And how groundbreaking and monumental this film was. It was the first film of its kind to bring all of these things together. A 10-year story that was multiple films, and bring it all together, and just the game-changing aspects, the bits of us. I don't know if I can't remember if you cried or not, but the Tony Stark snapping and Steve Rogers giving away his shield, and like Spider-Man coming back through the portal, and us after the aftermath of watching the heroes, the mightiest Avengers, losing. And then coming back for a conclusion, because at the start of this film, you got to remember as well, it's been 5 years, people are settling with their loss and all that kind of shit, and you're like, fuck me, the Avengers. And the start of that film, how gut-wrenching it is, because the Avengers do find Thanos, Thor goes for the head, but then even 5 years, you see these big, larger-than-life characters, like Thor's been hit hard, he's fat and all that kind of shit. And it's like, oh my god, even the bits like where Tony's left floating in space, and Captain Marvel eventually brings him down, and it is such a groundbreaking, monumental, huge, fucking game-changing film.
It changed a lot of shit.
It's
an epic film.
And like I said, the fucking, you know, when Mjolnir wobbles for a bit and everyone in the cinema's like, because Thor's about to get crushed by thinking they're just doing it. Caps hits him and then he hits him with the combos and the half-broken shield. He's strapping it. Fucking, getting goosebumps talking about it. And I thought, do you know what? Because of what that film did, I have to include this. I just have to. But number 4 for me is Endgame.
Right. Well, my number 4, again, it's an old-type classic. I watched it recently and it just... It's again, it's a fucking brilliant film. Cannonball 3000.
Fuck me, mate. That's a shot out of nowhere.
Again, it's cars. We'll make that car nerd. And it was a big... They still do it now to me this day. Where you'll get fucking hundreds upon thousands of cars gathering together and they just cross the state.
Yeah, because that's what it is, the Cannonball 3000. Yeah.
But actually, this was a film. And like I say, Burt Reynolds.
Burt fucking Reynolds.
Was in it as well. What a legend.
I don't think I've seen it.
He was only in it. He wasn't in the 3000, but he was in one of the others.
Is it?
Burt Reynolds is more known for Walking the Bandit.
Right. Yeah. I don't think I've seen it. I know what it is, but I'm just trying to put it in my head now.
Roger Moore was in it.
I'm going to say I haven't seen it, so maybe it's one I need to check out and have a look at.
Yeah. Again, all-time classic.
Did you say that's part of a franchise? Is it?
There is about 3 of them, but it's Cannonball 3000, which is the better one.
Right. Is it the first one, or is it? That's the first one.
It's the first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do they still do it to this day? The Cannonball 3000 or whatever?
They still do the racing. Well, it's not really racing. You just drive from. Well, it's not really 3000 anymore because it's grown. It used to be an American thing, but it's grown around the world now. So a lot of people. When I used to work with, did it like a couple of years ago, starting from top of Scotland, went all the way through Europe and stuff, all the way to Germany.
Yeah. Is that the one that the Jackass boys did? They did like a race thing where you have to get like a bit of a shitty old car and they raced across. No, I don't think it was that. They did like a certain race that is a famous race all across like Europe and it ends in an obscure place like Russia.
Probably.
I can't remember now.
But it's like, it's not really a race. You're just driving from one wherever you start to another.
Maybe it was,
place.
maybe it wasn't. But Cannibal 3000 is your fourth
3000
choice. So two thing is, I'm quite curious about what your, because you've been very car orientated, whatever that word is. Number 3 for me is a fucking obvious one. It is the Fellowship of the Ring. That's why I've gone for that over the other two. I mean, they're all amazing. You can't really have one Lord of the Rings without the other because it's the same story. But it was I remember being in the Fellowship back in 2001 and having that film end where the Fellowship's been dismantled and then thrown us that way, and my jaw being like, because at that point I'd read the books and I'm like, why the hell's it in there? Are you fucking mental? Just jaw dropping like that, and you see the big fucking. But Lord of the Rings are another massive game changer for not only getting all the awards and what that it does, but how it looks now to this day, being filmed all the way back there. Bringing a load of upcoming stars like Elijah Wood and whatnot into the mix. Legendary characters like Gandalf the fucking Grey that everybody knows the quotes like "You shall not pass." Taking us into this crazy, weird, horrible world of Middle Earth of knights and goblins and orcs and monsters, and it just that little fantasy story. Because that's the whole point for me. Again, I can't say it loads. The whole point for me in cinema is to just get wrapped up in this weird, fucked up, crazy world of story. This idea of this basically this little kid, not a kid, but you know what I mean, gets given this powerful ring. We need to go here, we need to destroy it, but along the way there's going to be all kinds of fucking carnage and heartbreak and upset. Boromir dying, the battle with Lurtz, the weird little facts about like Aragorn getting that dagger chucked at him that was a real dagger, they forgot to take it out, it was not use a stunt dagger, stuff like that, just and then I fell in love with characters like Aragorn, Boromir, Legolas and whatnot, and it was just the start of this absolute epic adventure that just completely changed my life. So, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring is my number 3 choice. Fucking absolutely. I'm glad that we recently, well I say it was recently, a while back did them.
Yeah, it's been a while, but yeah, it's been good. Right, my number 3. Now, this is not only number 3, is because it is a franchise, but this is the one out of the franchise that made me cry.
Oh, Logan?
No. It is Fast and Furious.
Oh, it is Fast and Furious. I thought that might be in your top.
Fast and Furious number 7.
Oh, it's number 7?
Yes.
Okay, alright.
No, this is the one where Paul exited.
Yeah, the whole see you again. Right, yeah.
That film, because I was always a big fan of Paul. Wasn't really first spoke Vin, but I was always a big fan of Paul, and he loved his cars. Growing up, we loved his cars, and the cars we seen in the film is what he put together. He handpicked these cars.
What the Skylines and that? Skyline.
He handpicked them. He helped build them because he was always.
He actually helped build them. So the cars that they got for the film, they just weren't bought in. They built them. Fuck me, that's quite cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so when he passed, it was a big fucking hit.
Yeah,
especially for a lot of people in the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah, it was a weird shock as well. I remember hitting it on the.
But number 7 was, to me, the last of the Fast and Furious.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean, because even though that it was getting a bit far fetched towards that sort of time, it still had that, not to kill each other, that whole core family roots of everything.
Yeah, and that was the last of
the whole
family.
Brian and Thingy story, and I mean, I thought Fast and Furious might make this, but I thought it'd be 1. I honestly thought it'd be number 1. But I get what you're saying, it because of the moment it represented. For you, it was the end of the road. For you, it was the end of the chapter of. Yeah, I'm down with that. Which 7 happened? That was
when his girlfriend got well at the time Dom's kid.
Yeah.
And the woman he slept with got kidnapped by.
That's Chris Hemsworth's missus, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, I thought Fast and Furious would make the list, but like I said, you've shocked us with that one. Did we go to see 7 together?
Can't remember, to be fair. Possibly.
I feel like we did, because 7 wasn't really that long ago, if you think about it. Fuck knows. So yeah, your number 3 is Fast and Furious 7.
Yes.
Right, my number 3, kind of the similar way of you, and this was just fucking orgasmic for me, but I had to put it in there because, again, there's obviously a lot of bias in this, but it's No Way Home. This was just, oh mate, I think even you got it a little bit. Them moments, them special cinema moments of watching Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire come through the portals. But the bit that made me fall in love with this film the most, but again, it's something I've seen a million times before, right? And it's Spider-Man Web Slinging. It's the final battle on the Statue of Liberty where the spiders aren't doing so well. Yes. And all of a sudden, they all huddle together and they say, right, we need to get this together. Oh, I'm going to start getting a bucket. And they come out and they swing out and they're using each other's webs and they're chucking, and you get the land pose, and you're like, this is what it's all about. Especially, I know, because I'm a Spider-Man fan, so it's going to hit a hell of a lot more. But the whole film in general was just heartbreaking, from that final moment of Tom Holland's Spider-Man changing his wish, and nobody, like that funeral scene for Aunt May, and he stood next to Happy Hogan, and Happy's not got a clue who he is. You're like, what the fuck are you doing to me? To the moment where Peter makes his own costume at the very end of the film, and you have that sequence in the snow, which is just fucking out, the way the blues glisten off the snow and the way that he lands and dies. And because I'm so invested in this little bastard's life and his story and whatnot, it was so heartbreaking. And watching Aunt May die, seeing these classic legendary villains come back, how they all interacted and whatnot, how it changed the MCU, I guess, in some sort of levels. We're exploring more of the multiverse and whatnot, the whole Venom crack at the end and stuff. It was just that moment of all the spiders, and like I said, them all coming back in, because we saw the Green Goblin, we saw Dr. Octo, but then that moment in Ned's grandma's house, and they're all like, oh, and then he opens up the sling, and you see that little black shadow at the back, and it gets closer and closer, and he pops through, and you're like, it's fucking Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man! And then all of a sudden, Toby walked through normal, and it's like, hi, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And how they all bonded, but I just fucking loved it. And again, I know you weren't a massive Spider guy, but you, since the Tom Holland stuff,
you
sort
more
of liked him
Tom
a bit
Holland
more. Yeah. It's just fucking beautiful.
Beautiful.
But that's my number 2.
My number 2 is because I've been asking this for such a long time, and we finally got it. Robert Pattinson's The Batman.
That was so close on my list.
Finally wanted a dark Batman for so fucking long. Finally got it. What a fucking epic film. I know you keep going on about it. The opening scene where everyone's doing their own thing, and you always get a dark alley or whatever. It's like, fuck, he's watching me. He's watching in the shadows.
Yeah, but the best thing about that is it's the uncertainty. They see the symbol, and because it's so powerful and iconic, he's not there, but they're like, I ain't risking that tonight. And you're like, wow. And then you do eventually get the music hitting the subway scene, and the fact that he saves that guy, and the guy's on the deck going, please don't hurt me. And you're like, he's the hero. What the fuck? I understand why this is on your top 5. It nearly made mine. This is one of this list cracks so fucking hard.
Been wanting them so fucking long. Finally got it.
And at least we're getting more as well with the Penguin show and the second one and all that carry on. Is there any other reasons as to why?
Fucking the epic car scene as well. That fucking big V8 Hemi just rumbling away at the background.
Again, I said it in the reviews, I've said it in everything, because that was in one of my ultimate moments as well from the end of the year. But when the car's introduced, the Batmobile, it feels like a new character. It's not just, the Batman's Batmobile. It's like a new character's been introduced, because he's in the back and it's all dark and they're looking, like Penguin's looking at you here, and then the flames of an actual demon coming out. And then when Penguin thinks he's got him, he's like, I got you, I beat you. And then he chases the Penguin's upside down and he comes walking up to it. Oh, it's fucking beautiful. So kudos to your choice that I do not fucking...
Yes.
It's so good.
It's so good.
So fucking epic. And our actual last proper midnight release as well.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm definitely going to watch that again over the weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to have to as well.
I've watched it multiple times. The Riddler, like the moments of where he's talking to Riddler, and the Riddler's just suddenly going, and you're like, oh my god, you've got to deal with these insane bastards. And I'm curious about how this Joker plays out as well.
Yes, definitely.
So
definitely.
But that's Chris's number.
That's my number 2.
Right, I don't need to talk too much about my number 1. It's obvious, I've said it a million times, but it has to be, and it will always be, for the foreseeable future, Into the Spider-Verse. That film just absolutely broke me from pillar to post.
Was a good film.
Oh, mate, I will never forget. Again, I know this is more significant to me than it is like you, because Spider-Man's not your main guy.
No.
The leap of faith moment of you know, Miles been told by the other spider to stay back, and the music's coming in, and he jumps off the building and he falls through the sky, and the way they implement the music and the animation, hitting stuff and like all the static 3D weird. The animation in this film was just stupidly flawless. It was beautiful, wasn't it? It wasn't just like we're going to go see Mario soon. That's going to be a great animated film, but it's just regular. But this was the first and only time that if you were ever to see a comic book in a film, this is exactly how it was, with the mad colours and the bright lights and the shakiness of the.
Because it wasn't really animated, was it? It was like a cartoon still effect.
Parts of it were like when you got to watch a 3D film and you take your glasses off.
Yeah.
In the background and stuff like that, and you're like, what a fucking
it was brilliant.
And of course, the spider story to me will always be the most beautiful story in the world, and this was just a great take on the becoming a spider story, using the older Spider-Man, the one that's out of shape, and to train him up, and everything was just unbelievably flawless. And I remember doing the spoiler-free review for it. I'm just like bursting out into tears, going, I can't believe how happy I am with this.
Nice.
It's just fucking outstanding. But that's my number one.
Number one, right? My number one.
Oh, I'm excited for this. What have you had? You've had a car. You've had cars. You've had a Batman. Oh, this is quite interesting.
What do you think? Who do you think my number one?
I would say maybe I thought maybe Logan would touch there, because I know how much that fucked you up, but I thought maybe it wouldn't have been your first. I thought maybe you would have said it by now. I don't know.
It is Logan.
Oh, it is Logan. Okay, it is Logan. Jesus Christ.
Fucking good old man Logan. I love that film.
As
you know, I'm a huge fan of Wolverine. Fucking huge fan. And that
Wolverine's
film
Chris's
was
guy.
an epic film. They're all epic, but again, it was the last thought we were. It was the last of Wolverine.
Yeah.
Dying at the end, bubbling our fucking little eyeballs out.
Holding his heart in his hand.
Yeah. What an epic fucking film that is.
Yeah, it's
just seeing him through all the years of watching him going through what shit, losing people, fucking dealing with shit, and
trying to look after Charles and stuff. And it's the hotel scene where Charles is going nuts and he's having to fight through it, and like when he's killing the guys in like that slow mo thing, and they can see it, and you're like, it's so fucking hauntingly beautiful. Oh my god! I thought this might have been on your. I realised number one though, but
I can't wait to see him again. Like I fucking cannot wait.
I remember when we debated for ages whether we should.
I've got news about Logan as well, to be fair.
We'll get into that in a minute. I can't wait to hear you say that. But yeah, because obviously we know that Wolverine is back and Hugh Jackman is back, but as far as we're aware, it might not be this, because it's whole multiverse. We know the TVA is going to be heavily involved in this new Deadpool film and shit.
They're going to be heavily involved.
Could be a variant, fuck knows, but to me, in my head, that's going to be the end story of that particular Wolverine.
Yes.
I'm going to leave it there, because I love when they come over the cross and then tilts it and makes it an X. And that, the last Berserker rage, and he's fucking... And the fact that he ultimately had to go up against himself in this, it's... Oh my god, so...
Fucking epic film. It'll always be a fucking all-time favourite for me.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's so fucking hard. It is so hard. That is also as well one of the best comic book films of all time, without a shadow of a doubt. Oh, that's fucking disgusting. Right, we'll jump on TV shows now. Chris, I did mine first. You do yours first now.
Right. Right, so coming in at number 5.
I like that you've memorised them as well. It's just quite cool.
I'm fucking reading them all fucking week. That's why I try to rearrange it.
It is so hard.
Right. So coming in at number 5, strong, is Big Bang Theory. I fucking love.
We have similar lines on our fives.
We have similar lines. I fucking love it.
Yeah, I know you're a big
I
fan.
watch it constantly. I love Sheldon. My sisters call me fucking Sheldon. I don't know why, but I fucking love Big Bang Theory.
I quite often describe myself to people as, imagine one of the boys from Big Bang, but minus the brains. That's quite often how I explain myself. But I know how much you love the Big Bang Theory and story. I will always remember the final episode, because I do really like the Big Bang, but I see it a bit differently to you. But the end scene where the intro plays, and instead of being normal, it's like an acoustic version. They're all on the couch, and it was a great, and it ran for fucking 12 seasons. 12 seasons, is that right?
Seasons.
Yeah.
12 seasons.
And you really watch the characters completely evolve.
You do. You grow up with the characters.
Even Penny and that, she goes from a complete different
She does. She turns into a nerd.
Yeah. Bernadette changes.
Yeah,
Sheldon has a massive change.
You see everyone change. It's just going from shy, nerdy people to grown up to, apart from Raj,
apart from Raj,
being married, having kids, and everything else.
Yeah, it would actually be quite nice to revisit it.
So it kind of shows people, nerdy people, that there is hope for nerdy people out there and stuff like that.
It tells the ultimate story of the girl next door and the guy that can't get her.
Yeah.
To eventually not only getting her but changing her life. Like it is a beautiful story.
It is a fucking beautiful.
I'm on the exact similar lines with you, just with a different show, but it's How I Met Your Mother.
How I Met Your Mother.
I love this story because the whole story is every little detail in your life that impacts the end result.
Yeah.
It's a story of Ted Mosby bumping into somebody here and doing this there, and if they never did that, he wouldn't have been here at this time, and they would have done that, and eventually wouldn't have ended up here to meet the mother. And I just love the way that I've literally restarted it because I built some Lego yesterday and I thought I'm going to restart How I Met Your Mother because it's the same for you with Big Bang, but mine's How I Met Your Mother. the theme tune, the characters.
If I'm just chilling out, it's just Big Bang.
Yeah,
it's always my first option. Big Bang.
See, for whatever reasons you just said there, How I Met Your Mother's on my list, so I don't really need to say much more. But I just love this whole.
It was close between Big Bang and Lost in Space. Because again, I love Lost
you love the newish Netflix one.
Yeah. It was close between them two, but Big Bang was always my first choice. So like, I'm chilling out. Big Bang, always my first choice.
Right, for his reasons of Big Bang, it's mine for How I Met Your Mother. So number 4.
My number 4.
This is fun. I like these.
Is Lucifer.
Oh, great shout.
Fucking
fantastic
shout. Lucifer.
Yeah.
Always been a fan of Lucifer Morningstar.
I know that you've adored, so it's a great shout for you. It's a fantastic
Basically,
shout.
is the devil. Had enough sitting downstairs, so he came to Los Angeles to enjoy life, drink, party, plenty of sex, men and women.
And end up in the Arrowverse for a bit.
Yeah. Ends up being a fucking detective himself, falling in love with a detective who got brought down, the parents should say, got touched upon by his dad to have a child because they were struggling.
Yeah.
Then his attitude, his mannerism, just the way he was with people, he just didn't give a shit. It was basically a house, but a Lucifer.
But Lucifer.
Yeah.
The bits you've told me, the bits that I've seen, it does look really good. I should have back it one day, but that's a great shout for you because I know how much you love the show. I know how much you fucking. At least when it got cancelled or whatever, they brought it to Netflix. You're like, I got it again. We'll get part 1, and we've got it. That's it. Completely done now.
Yes, that's finished.
What did that end in 6 seasons?
Yes.
5 to 6.
6.
No talks of spin-offs are out.
No talks.
Are you happy with that though? Are you happy?
Yeah, because it ended nicely.
I remember you didn't he eventually go up to heaven?
No.
What?
In the end, he knew he couldn't have Chloe.
Yeah.
So he went back to hell. Chloe lived her life on Earth with the baby, and Chloe grew up got old, and then when Chloe died, she went to heaven. But for Lucifer's sacrifice, he asked, "Look, please do me one last thing. Bring it to hell with me," and that's how they ended up.
So she actually ended up in hell, together. But is that version of hell not bad?
No, it was just them two. It was them two together.
Right. Yeah. So I'm assuming years passed at the end of that show then.
Yeah.
Because then you're like, and then she's in hell.
Yeah.
I remember because you said God's a bit of a bad guy in that show.
Yeah, he is.
A bit of a, yeah.
Yeah, he's a bit of a twat.
Talk to me. Yeah, that's a fantastic shot for you.
Because her out of Deadpool. Fucking the one that he keeps taking the piss off in the house. Yeah. She's his daughter in Lucifer.
Ah, right, okay.
So yeah.
How would you? My number 4 show of all time involves vehicles, but of the motorbike kind, and it's Sons of Anarchy. Fucking absolutely. And when I first heard about it, I thought that's a bit corny. Charlie Hunnam, the Green Street guy, wearing Air Force as a biker. But you completely fell in love with this gang, this club.
Yes.
And you get such like the moments with Tig and Opie, when Opie gets killed in jail, and you're fucking absolutely heartbroken, to Jax killing himself at the end, to finding out Clay, was part of the murder of his dad and all that kind of shit. He eventually kills his mum because his mum kills not Terra, whatever his missus was called. And it just takes on this massive roller coaster of emotions that, the other biker gangs get involved with, that gang and the police here and that. I thought, this is one of the shows that when it ends, you're like, next episode, season end. Like the whole chase sequence when his son gets kidnapped and they have to go to Ireland and whatnot, and everybody's passed. They talk about Tig, the moment where he has to watch his daughter get burnt alive in front of him, has all these horrible moments, and then you completely fall in love and feel a part of this biker club, and it's just the intro ran through this world. You're like, oh my god, this is just outstanding. It was a fucking. I just love it.
It was a good program. I couldn't get into Myers though.
Mayans wasn't as fantastic. Don't get us wrong. I watched it, and there were Sons of Anarchy moments inside of it, just not with this club. But yeah, I agree with you there. The magic was all in Sons of Anarchy for me. Mayans was okay. I watched it. I thought, it was all right. But that was a special show. I just thought it was just because I didn't watch any of it. I think there was like 4 seasons out, and then I thought I'm trying to buy the first 4 seasons, and then just the betrayals and the deaths and the twists and the turns. Clubhouse being, whenever in the clubhouse, I always felt nice and cozy, like I was part of it. I was sat chilling, having a beer and that. It was so fucking good. But Sons of Anarchy is my number 4.
Right. These top 3 has fucking been hard for me because I've been moving them since I burst them out last week. I've been moving them about and everything else. Like, right, no, I like this moment in this bit, but I like this moment in this bit.
Yeah, these lists can easily change.
So, my number 3.
Chernobyl.
Oh, you did say it. I think you said it last week. Chernobyl's up there for you.
Chernobyl is my number 3.
That was so good.
For a little 5-episode series, what an impact you fucking seen in it.
Yeah.
Based on true events as well. What an absolute fucking... just hearing the stories, speaking to the people, what shit it did round the world,
watching
not
how it
just
happened.
in fucking Ukraine.
The biggest part about me for that show was the one that the people that go in them suits and expecting them to die straight away, they're the ones that live fucking years.
Yeah.
And it was horrible seeing the ones that went into it that were absolutely, that moment where they're a bit gammy, but then all of a sudden they have a moment of life in that hospital scene, and then they live the next day, and you're like, so you go to visit the people in the hospital with all the, the skin and that falling off and whatnot, you're just like, oh my god, this was, the people on the bridge that watch the explosion from miles away, well, not miles, but a good distance, they think they're safe, but all the shit falling down on top of them.
Well, it infected a whole lot of Europe.
Yeah, did a hell of a lot. And of course it had real world implications, like you just said. It was a real world event. It was a fantastically shot show.
It was absolutely fucking
It's another great shout, mate. It was another fantastic shout.
So yeah, that's my number 3.
Do not blame me for Chernobyl at all. Chernobyl was fucking beautiful. My number 3 takes us to the world of walkers in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I had to include this. I know towards the end, me and you agreed, we said it should time to end in that, but when it first started, and we were getting this, because it kind of revitalised the zombie genre a little bit. But it stepped away, and when the slogan changed to "Fight the dead but fear the living," and because everyone was, love a zombie apocalypse, that'll be mint, not got to work, I'll fight some zombies, and then you really watch it, you go, I'm going to say there's lunatics out there, the saviours.
It's not the zombies you need to worry about, or the walkers even. And
watching how the psyche of these people changed from Rick, from what he was to how he ended, well, we don't know how it completely is because there's still more to come. I actually saw some video footage of him, somebody was recording the scene, the shots. The moments of him falling in love with Michonne, his boy dying, Carl, Negan being introduced the way. Again, something that I'd seen from the comics, but watching it on TV, watching Glenn, that was so gross. I popped out right in front of his Mrs. Maggie, the way he did it to Abraham, and them sort of moments, you're like, this is fucking, I can't do this. And I remember for a while that completely broke the internet, that particular scene, because in the woods and then Rick pissing with sweat. The moment where Rick's caught by the Sabres I think it was a few seasons prior, and he thinks Carl's going to die, and he bites the guy's throat out, and all these brutal, crazy moments for him, like Daryl. Characters like, thingy, what's her name? The old bitch, Daryl's pal.
Fucking... Yeah, her.
Yeah, from going to an abused wife to one of the biggest badasses in the show. Seeing that kind of character development and whatnot. And yes, it had its slow moments and it's whatnot, but the whole tension between when they were in the prison and the governor and all that kind of carry on, and when the Sabres eventually brought down the cannibals at the terminus and stuff. What a fantastic show.
It was an epic show.
And like I said, I know we said it maybe needs to wrap up now, but when it finished and we had that nice little scene, Rosita would eventually pass on and die, but the look between the window between Daryl and Negan, and then seeing Rick last time and was shown. Oh man,
beautiful.
Yeah, that was my number 3.
Right, my number 2. Oh, fucking hell.
These lists are disgusting.
I know. My number 2. It's just number 2. Because my number 1 and my number 2 are very fucking close because they're very fucking similar.
Yeah.
The Last of Us.
I can see that being on it. Before you explain it, I would say I haven't put it on this purely because I need to wait for it all to be finished.
Yeah.
And then I can chuck it on. But you've already, know this world better.
I know this world.
Yeah. So I didn't feel like I'm justified. But carry on with your reasons. Well, do we even need your reasons? The world, we know.
The world knows the reasons why.
How much you love.
It's basically been one of the fucking best watched episodes in the past, especially this year.
Yeah, but even before that, with you saying how big the games were, you didn't even have to say it because I watched the big YouTubers play it and how Mark Bernardin on Fat Man, how much he's such a creative writer and he knows storytelling so well. How much he loved it, and you're like, oh, okay, this must be a great story. This isn't a shock. I knew this was going to be. I actually thought it was going to be number 1 though, so I'm curious to what. I think I might know what your number 1 would be, but I don't know what route you've gone down. So I'll wait for it to be a surprise.
Okay.
But I know how much you love the Last of Us, and from the glimpse I've seen, I can completely understand as to why this is up there for you.
Oh yeah, I'm fucking absolute epic series, and I can't wait for season 2.
I can. Eve again, know that I don't know as much as you. I can wait. I can very much wait. I can't wait for you. Now you've just said that, and then it happens, and then you we talk to each other on the.
Again, I've got stories on when we're expecting season 2.
Yeah, we've still got the news thing. We've actually got the sim. We should be all right, hopefully. Right, my number 2 is it's fucking obvious what it's Pokemon. It has to be on this fucking list for me. Pokemon, that's the full entire animated series, plus, like I mentioned at the start of this podcast, with recency bias, with how Ash that team has just left, and everything was,
It came up,
it's obviously I watched it in Japanese, but I'll be watching it again in English.
Get off.
I don't know why I'll be watching it again. But Pokemon's not only just been a huge show for me, but it's been a huge part of my life, from the cards, the games, and all that kind of carry on. But this is where the start of my own little weird world adventure started. Near enough my entire life, I've done this adventure with this little fucking electric mouse and this little boy from Pallet Town, just going around the world and exploring and being on a massive adventure. And just Pokemon's just absolutely beautiful. It's so fucking good.
Beautiful. Right.
Chris is number 1.
My number 1.
Go and say it.
The Walking Dead.
That's The Walking Dead, right? Yeah, okay. Oh yeah.
Fucking. When I first seen this, I've watched the first episode and I was like, nah, whatever. Never watched it.
Yeah, when did you start then, properly?
It was only when I was got halfway through season 2, I think.
Okay.
And I think I was with my nana, and she was like, "Have you seen this program?" It started last season. It's like on season 2 or something or whatever.
Right.
We give it a watch. Just what we can do. We can watch season 1. We can start it all if we want. And
that's when
That's what it got into me.
So it's maybe because instead of getting that one and ending, because you got the first 6 episodes of the first season, wouldn't it? You did the whole 6 as a story, because obviously we end, don't we, with the guy whispering and Rick seeing. You don't know what he's whispering at the time. So no, okay.
But since then, I've been hooked.
Yeah,
I've been fucking hooked. I've laughed with them. I've cried with them. I've fucking scared with them. We've done the Carl. We've got to meet fucking Norman Reedus as one of the fucking greatest long-haired, beautiful beasts of all time.
Yeah, like a character that was made just for him.
Yeah. Carol is the one that we
Carol,
got.
yes,
we
Carol.
Got to meet Carol, like you said. We got to see Michonne. We got introduced to Negan.
Yeah, Negan was such a fucking great character.
We've gone through some wars with these people, and like say, it's been a roller coaster.
It really has.
It's been an epic fucking roller coaster. Yes, certain episodes have dragged on, and you didn't need certain things.
Yeah.
The spin-offs, not really a fan.
They've been hit and
Fear
miss.
the Walking Dead, not really.
They've been a hit and miss.
World Beyond was kind of pointless because it didn't point anything out. what these 3 spin-offs are going to do, we don't know.
The worst thing is we're going to have to watch them because they involve the characters we're in love with.
Exactly.
As much as we say Walking Dead should end, but fuck, we're going to have to watch these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, what a fucking epic series it's been. And kudos to the fucking guy who embedded it in fucking...
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking, well, we both had The Walking Dead on our list, and completely justified why. We both love The Walking Dead. My number 1 is definitely, without hands down, the most significant social commentary on our life there has ever been and there ever will be. And it hammered home the fact this is my number 1 because their most newest episode got modern day society down to an absolute T, and these boys are the most creative boys I've ever met, they're the most funniest boys I've ever met, and they just keep getting everything spot on in itself back. Yeah, it just the newest episode's all about modern day kids working.
Yeah,
how they everything's so lazy. They have the I need a mental health day from work, and I need a 10-minute. I want to work from home. You can't, Cartman. We work in an ice cream factory. It was like, yeah, but it's laid back Wednesday or whatever. It's not just that episode, but it's every episode and how they just hammered home. Every time there's something into the game, they're not scared to take. If you do something or anything in life, they're just like, we're going to take the piss out of you because they literally get how stupid and ridiculous life really is.
Yeah.
And
it's just getting more and more stupid.
Yeah, and the fact that they're not scared to tackle religion and countries and culture, and like they said, the Queen's death just happened. The way they showed that, the Harry and Meghan, whatever she called stuff, from all the way back in day one, certain celebrities having scandals and dramas, and the way they just tackled that, and the people are trying to cancel them, shut them down. They're like, no, we have the right to take the piss off everybody. Yeah. At the start of the show, we tell you shouldn't watch the show. If you go past that point, that's on you. And I just love Matt Solitary. The fact that they went to the whatever show it was, won awards, and they just went in dresses high on acid because they thought, why are we all just giving each other awards for this? Is just nonsense. We're going to take the piss. And I just love how they've got the finger on the pulse of, like I said, of modern day society. And oh, them boys are just groundbreaking for me anyway. Matt Solitary Parker. But that's my number 1. I think we better fly through these categories here because we need to get dinner.
Yeah, we need to get food.
Yeah, I mean, we could always do the news after.
We could do.
Yeah, if you want. Or, I mean, if the pub was quiet, we could do it there, but you're going to just hear, it's going to be a nightmare.
Because what time's Phil?
7:30.
7:30. So
look,
an hour.
I reckon if we get there for 7 at the latest, because it takes 10 minutes for the dinner to come. Obviously, the film won't start till 8. We're talking John Wick here. We're about to see John Wick. So, I mean, we're not mega rushed, but it's going to be a bit of like, come on, order.
Bear in mind, I've got a bad back, so I'm not as quick walker as used to be.
Yeah, as I used to be. But back in there, last week. But we'll fly through these and we'll discuss what's going to happen next. But I've gone for my favourite characters, Chris. Shall I just run through my 5? And then you can just, because I know you haven't got this category.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so I've gone for...
We'll go the same order. We'll just go quickly 5.
Okay. My number 5 is Eric Cartman.
Eric Cartman.
He's just, again, if there is a character to be like, okay, let's put everything that's wrong with the world into somebody and express it, it's him.
Okay.
So
my number 5 off the top of my head.
Bearing in mind, Chris is going to be Russian now.
Yes. Right, my number 5, I'm going to say probably Rick Grimes.
Beautiful choice.
Yes.
Beautiful choice.
I don't need to say why.
No, you don't need to say why. You know. My number 4 is Ash Ketchum. Self-explanatory. That boy lived the life I always wanted.
Fair enough.
I fucking love him so much. Honestly, watching him leave was just... And all of his old Pokemon... Sorry, carry on.
My number 4, I'm going to put... Bear with me. I'm going to put... Lucifer.
Oh, Lucifer. Okay. That is no. I don't know why. I can understand that because how much you love him. My number 3 is Kakarot, aka Goku. That man right there. The embodiment of never give up and fun and friendship and family and just do the best you can to protect it. If you're the strong one, make sure you protect the weak. That just.
Yeah.
I've seen him again transform from a little boy to this ultimate God Super Saiyan.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I know my favourite film.
No, because we're in a rush. We literally are in a rush.
Best Little Hot House in Texas.
It's not my film, actually.
Yeah.
My number 3.
Number 3.
I'm going to say Peter Quill.
Oh, I like that, mate. I like that.
He's a fucking legend.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, because no, that's quite. And obviously, there's a lot of emotional trauma in there as well. Yeah, Peter Quill's a great show. Well done, mate. I want to say well done for your choice. Jesus Christ. I'm going to do 2 and 1 back to back because they are kind of intertwined.
Okay.
They kind of have to. Number 1, you know, it's stupid. But number 2 would be Venom, and then after that, it's Spider-Man. These 2 are just my favourite comic book characters of all time. But if it's Venom or Spider-Man related, I just fucking... Oh, I don't need to talk about Spider-Man, but Venom, anything symbiotes is just beautiful. And yeah, this video is literally on this channel about why I love Spider-Man.
My number 2 is... Fuck, I've got 3 in my head.
No.
Fuck. My number 2... I'm going to say Sheldon. Sheldon.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that man is so fucking funny.
Yeah. And again, a lot of weird emotional trauma inside of that man as well.
Yeah.
That's all, yeah. And it'd be your number 1 because I did 2 and 1 back to back just because they were...
My number 1, again, Old Man Logan.
So that specific version of him, Old Man Logan.
Old Man Logan.
Yeah,
the last film, him.
That version of Logan
That
is
version of
I need
Logan.
to... I think I might have some cool... Not that you'll read them. I think I have some cool comic book covers that I should maybe give you for when you properly settle down that you can put up.
As what we've seen over the years, you've seen him broken, you've seen him fucking scarred, shot, fucking slowly dying inside, but yet he's still fighting to keep Charles alive.
And we've just spoke about emotional trauma. There's so much in him.
Yeah, keeping Charles alive and keep a fucking... Oh, yeah.
Well, that's our 5 favourite characters of all time. I'll run through my favourite scenes. We've got Spiders Unite is my 5th favourite. The Spiders using it from No Way Home.
Yeah.
That's just what I've called it.
Yeah.
I've gone for my 4th favourite, Batman vs Bane Fight 1.
Yeah.
That fight is just the way there's no music, it's silent, the body shots, you'll think darkness is your ally, and watching Batman get crippled to fuck, lifted up, snapped, before you die, we'll take your precious armory, and his cars and that come down, you're like, you've just been absolutely fucking bamboozled in that fight. Bruce Wayne keep getting up and doing the rah, the water hitting, and what a fucking fight that is. Beautiful, mate. Number 3, I had to put it on there. It's Avengers Assemble. It's making my beard tingle. I'm getting goosebumps. It's just stood there. Avengers Mjolnir Assemble, because every single one of us in that cinema were like, when we united with them and we charged against Thanos, everybody else had just come back and whatnot.
Well, my number 3, it only recently fucking came out because I think it was an epic scene.
Oh.
Creed 3.
Oh, mate, that was close to making the fucking list.
That was fucking some epic sparring between them two.
It was just, that was phenomenal,
From the
mate.
cage to the fucking roots to the fucking...
Michael B. Jordan's just a...
Going 12 rounds, just fucking these two.
Yeah, the 1-2, Darkness, round 12. How the fuck have we got to round 12?
Yeah.
Yeah, that... really should have had that on the list as well, because I fucking love that. Right, sorry, yeah. Number 2 is You Were There For Me, and I think it was the first ever animated Pokemon film you ever watched with me, but it was the Pokemon I Choose You film, where Ash and Pikachu were on the brink of dying.
Yeah.
And Ash says to Pikachu, get in your Pokeball. And he turns to Pikachu and he says, why would you get in your Pokeball? Pikachu says, it's because I love you. And you're like, oh, I'm going to get all that watery-eyed now.
Yeah.
And it's fucking heartbreaking because Pikachu's never spoke before.
Yeah.
And he just turns and looks at him and says, why wouldn't you get in your ball, please? I want to protect you. I love you. And you're like, oh, fuck. Oh.
Again, top of my head. Number 2. Little pig, little pig.
Little pig. Oh, great, mate, great.
Fucking as soon as we got introduced to Negan, that was it. The world went wild. Who the fuck's this? I hate this. He went from the world's most hatedest person to the world's most fucking fantastic person.
I just slipped my dick down your throat and you thank me for it.
Yeah.
Weird one-liners, man.
Yeah.
Little pig, little... Wow, great shout, mate, great shout. And my final obvious one, The Leap of Faith from Spider-Verse. Jumping off the building, the music hitting. Oh, come on, Miles, you fucking beautiful cunt.
Again, top of my head, because it's what I can think of at the minute is, again, mentioned it last one, Paul leaving in number 7.
It's
It was the moment we knew he was gone. He wasn't in the franchise anymore.
Is it what bit gets you more in that scene? Is it the moment where the camera comes out and you saw the two cars split?
When they're both sitting at the traffic lights, just looking at each other, smiling.
Who parks up next to who? Who's already at the line?
Dom's at the light,
and then Paul comes
yeah. and they just both look at each other, smiling, and then the music sits in and both go their own way out.
Yeah. That is gut wrenching. Even from someone that's not a huge Fast and Furious fan, that is gut wrenching.
Yeah, that's going to be my number 1, unfortunately.
Right, these should be fast categories here. I'll quickly run through. This is going to insult you, but I'm going to put it down there because I was genuinely heartbroken. This just destroyed me because of how much it was the biggest letdown. My biggest letdown is the most recent Jurassic World. I can't get over how much this just broke my heart of how bad it was. It just destroyed what Jurassic World is. Cockroaches and float, mate. Because a lot of people didn't like the new Jurassic World. They slated them. Me and you kept going to them saying, I really enjoyed that. I got to this one and everybody was backing that. I was like, this feels so fake and nothing to do with dinosaurs and cloning and we in Star Wars. It broke my heart, man. Biggest disappointment for you in recent years?
Can't really think of one of the
Don't worry. So we've done you. We've done my favourite trilogy. The best trilogy of all time has to be Lord of the Rings. Every other trilogy, even including Spider-Man's and Captain America's and whatever else Star Wars is, this literally, because they all tell individual films, whereas this, part 1 to part, it's the same story and it just works beautifully.
Trilogy-wise, I probably would agree with you on that one, Star Wars.
Because even like Godfather 1 and 2, 3,
yeah,
what the fuck, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings.
No.
So you're not agreeing?
No, I don't agree with you.
I don't agree with you.
No, I don't agree with you.
Yours is Star Wars.
Mine's is Star Wars.
Which one, the original, or like the new, or the prequels, or?
I'd probably say the originals.
Right, okay, so Luke, Vader, and all that shit. Great choice, mate. Fantastic. Empire Strikes Back. Fucking beautiful film. And then my final category is... I've got 2 best games. I'll just run through mine because it's nice and easy. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, number 5. If you love Dragon Ball, you are inside the show going nuts. Number 4 has to be Mario Kart. I fucking love Mario Kart. It's just mint. Number 3 is the Spider-Man PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 game.
Yeah.
Great in the world of Spider-Man. Number 2 is the Arkham games, but I've chosen Arkham Asylum. You're literally locked in Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
Which, I'm surprised you've never actually done that game, you know. And number 1, I've had to pick a particular game from this franchise, but it's Red and Blue from Pokemon. Yeah. They just take me back to my... I think you could do yours quickly, but you don't need to tell me number 1.
Trying to think what fucking games I played over there. So I'd say number 3 would probably be the Forza franchise. Because I think probably be the best racing simulated games of all time. Even though I started looking at Gran Turismo, I loved Gran Turismo, but as soon as I got to Xbox, it's doing Forza all the way.
Yeah, I thought Forza might be
number 2. Fuck me. Number 2, I'm gonna say the Resident Evil series.
Oh yeah,
the recent ones. Played them when I was younger.
The
reboots, yeah. Played them when I was younger, but for some strange reason, when they got remastered, should we say, rethingied, just fucking straight into it. I can't wait to get the 4th one, because I can get fucking straight into that one.
Just re-fall in love with them again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I cannot wait, even though it's not on my list, but I cannot wait for the Silent Hill version to come out.
Silent Hill,
that's got reading as well. I fucking love Silent Hill.
And your number 1, let me guess, is it about a man taking a girl across the country against loads of mushroom people?
It definitely is.
Oh, what a guess.
One of the best franchised games.
Okay, then quickly.
I've ever played.
If, just to put you on the spot, part 1 or part 2, if you could only play one for the rest of your life.
Part 2.
Ooh, part 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I had more ups and downs in that game.
So it hit you more.
Yes.
When, okay.
But as soon as Joel went, I was like, I don't want to play it, I'm not playing it. I understand why now I'm playing it.
I'm with you. So, yeah, that was an obvious one for you. We knew it was going to be that. Yes. And the last one for us is my 5 favourite actors of all time. And I'll quickly run through them. Number 5, we have Mr. Ryan Reynolds.
I can agree with that one.
That man just gives you everything.
Yeah.
This one, I wasn't going to put on the list as much as I love him, but because of Creed, I have to put him on there. It's Michael B. Jordan.
You've always been a
but because it's fun. But it's now because of the directing side, the show he did on Netflix, the anime-related stuff, the way he can tell stories.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. He's just on so many levels. He's a fantastic actor. Number 3. Oh, sorry, go on.
I'd say my number 4. I would have to say Jason Momoa.
Okay, great choice. He's a beautiful man as well.
He is a beautiful man.
Chris loves him some Samoan. I've gone for Pedro Pascal. Why? Because
you're obsessed with him.
I'm obsessed with him. But no, he when we talk about acting, right, look at that Nick Cage film. He was fucking hysterical. The Last of Us, he hit us on so... He portrayed a completely broken down, crumbled mess of a man. Then he brings Star Wars to life and The Mandalorian, and he actually helped me fall in love with Star Wars that little bit more. Game of Thrones, you didn't see him that much, but he was this other cool, sort of cocky, weird, elegant dancer. In the last Frontier, I think, with Charlie Hunnam and Ben Stiller, he was a great Marine sort of... The guy's just got so many wide varieties of acting. He's just unbelievable.
Yeah, he is, to be fair.
And like I said, I know I am obsessed with him, which I am, I'm not going to lie. But he can act in anything from Star Wars to The Last of Us to Game of Thrones. He's an actor.
He's an actor. He's a good actor. What have we got, number 3?
Yeah.
My number 3, I'm going to say Dave Bautista.
Dave Bautista's a great variety. Loads of variety there. Not just a big wrestler.
Went from wrestling to being fucking different types of characters used in a film compared to, no offence, but they've all done good, The Rock, who's basically...
100%. Careful what you say when I've got the new John Cena shirt on. No, I agree. I completely agree with you.
He's one of the best wrestlers / actors.
Well, Knock at the Cabin to where we are. Did you do that in the end, Knock at the Cabin?
I've still not done it yet, I will do. But going from a nerdy fucking goofball in Guardians of the Galaxy to one of you have to die today. Yeah.
He is so good in that role. I can't wait for you to watch that film, mate. It's so fucking crazy.
One of you have to be sacrificed to save the world.
He's so nice in that, and the way his story ends in that film without spoiling everything for you is just like, what the fuck? Yeah. Next up, I have to put this on there. What a great, fantastic a member of this beautiful institution, and it's Sir Ian McKellen.
Sir
Ian McKellen is just fucking... To the moment where he cried on the scene of The Hobbit because it was all CGI to say, this isn't why I did acting. I acted because I need to be with other people. Now I'm in front of Greece. This isn't what acting's all about. To his performances as Gandalf and Magneto, to his stuff on his the Broadway and the shows. Oh, it's good.
Man's a legend. Man is a legend.
Beast.
My number 2... And it's there because he's basically one of my fucking best comic book characters.
Ooh, Hugh Jackman.
Yeah,
Hugh Jackman, great shot. Again, I know from that to The Greatest Showman to Prisoners with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Great choice. Number 1 is because this person did me the biggest honour and privilege I have ever witnessed on the big screen of my favourite character of all time, but it has to be Tom Holland. And as well, because what he stemmed off from the Netflix film he did, The Devil, where he's and the old sort of thingy, to his weird little indie performances from Billy Elliot being a dancer and all that kind of stuff. The guy's got everything, but he portrayed the way he portrayed Spider-Man. I can't. Again, I've done a whole video breaking down why he was fantastic, so I don't need to go into it anymore. But it has to be Tom Holland for me.
My number 1 is Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves.
For someone who started off in a nerdy film, in a fucking phone box, to fucking being a tumbleweed
in SpongeBob,
to basically being the fucking best assassin in the world.
Yeah.
That man can play
47 Ronin. He was one of the Ronin thingy and that.
He can play some fucking amazing. But Constantine, and we've got the second one finally coming.
Neo.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are like Neo. As much as I'm not a Matrix fan, but these are fucking characters.
These are what introduced him. These are what brought him out.
So no, Keanu Reeves is a fantastic show. And again, I know for a fact, like, I'm not a huge John Wick guy. I don't care, whatever. But I'll go into this film now, and everything will just be bang on. I already know when we leave the cinema, I'm gonna leave them going, yeah, it was bang on that.
Yeah.
Bit from everything.
Definitely.
But yeah, sorry, we rushed it a little bit there at the end because we need to go get dinner and whatnot. And
yeah, I mean, if you are still here an hour later,
an hour later. But that I only did that because I asked you last week, and you give us a little taste of it. I was like, I want to know more. And again, we could do this list next week, and there might be some changes. It's such a hard, fucking horrible list to make. I just unbuttoned my shirt for some reason. Thought I was getting. I don't know why. Visuals. That is our favourite fucking character from all time. But again, ask us in a week, ask us in a month, ask us in 2 years. It could simply change.
It could change.
But visuals, let us know yours in the comments below. We're going to go watch John Wick fuck up a load of people because years ago somebody messed with his dog, and this is where we are now.
Yeah,
not you, mate. You're not going to die. Well, one day when you chewed more leg oil. But visuals, thank you for listening. More keep on keeping on.
Yes, and as always, people, love you back.